How do you sell a 5K product? Now, let me first start off by telling you who I work with, what I do, and what my agency is about. So, I work with residential cleaning businesses, and what I do is I do client acquisition and retention. So, I help them acquire customers, be it one times or recurring. Most of them are one time cleans, and then we convert those one times into recurring. So, because that's where the money really is, it's the monthly recurring revenue. And the way my system works is we have a series of automations, we have a series of processes that we follow to make that happen. And by us working with them based on the monthly recurring side of things, so if they take us for monthly, what happens is if we leave with the systems. So it's kind of like they always rely on us. And what I found is, what if I just sold them the system? So I see lots of people selling courses for 5K. So for example, in the gym niche, Charlie Morgan used to sell a 5K product where he taught businesses everything that he did for before he started to do the course. So when he used to charge monthly, and there's a lot of effort that business owners have to exert to learn those things and apply them in their business. Now, imagine if for 5K, instead of learning it, you'd have someone actually implement the whole thing in your business. So instead of you having to watch videos, having to learn, because there is a learning curve and you're not going to learn, you don't just need a stimulus of images that go fast on a screen, which is video, and then some sound for you to learn instantly. They first hit your brain, you got to think about them, you got to go through a learning curve by trying, by failing, etc. What if I could just come to your business and sell you that for 5K? Now, I could probably do it for 10, and I will, but for now, let's just do it for 5K. So I will implement all the systems that we use to currently generate 18 to 20 bookings every single month, of which at least 20 to 25% convert into recurring. So if you charge, let's say on average $300, 18 bookings would be around 4 to 5K, or 4 to 6K, sorry, 4.5 to 7K, and 20% of that would be around $700 to $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And if you multiply that by the average stay, which is around 1.5 years to 2 years, then you just added around $10,000 to $15,000 in lifetime value. So what if I could just take a system, implement it in take our system that consistently generates that for other businesses and implement it inside of your system, plus add 6 months or 4 months of ads for free on top of that. So we're talking about management. We're talking about ad creation, we're talking about funnel optimization, we're talking about all of that, plus what's in our system. So I'm gonna hire a VA for you. I'm gonna train her based on your specific product, the way you like to, well, not necessarily the way you like to sell, but the way you like to conduct your discovery, for example. So you like to know if they have pets. Some other companies don't care if you have pets or not. You have a specific way of pricing, and let's say you don't have a calculator, so they kind of have to learn it before they start calling on the phone and pricing those things. So what if I just come into your business, do that, and add 4 months of revenue on top of that, and basically if I leave by then, so let's say you're just getting leads nonstop somehow, which is not going to happen, but let's just say you are, then when I leave, you have a system that when a lead comes in is built to convert them into a monthly recurring customer. That sounds like 5K is a pretty good deal to me. So that's how I came up with the 5K product. And also what I really love about it is if that's what I push on my calls, then I price anchor them at 5K. Then if they say no, I drop it down to 1,500, and it's basically, instead of you getting the system, then it's us basically it's us doing it and renting it to you. And if that doesn't work, then you can go to my $97 a month school where you can learn all of that. And of course, if they go inside, they're gonna try to learn, it's gonna work, they're gonna get the leads, but there's a learning curve where they have to understand how to use the systems, to build the systems, to call the leads properly, meaning call them on time, and also talk to them correctly to convert them into a at least a one time, and then call them again and talk to them correctly to then convert them into a recurring. So the 5K just sounds like a no-brainer. That's how I came up with it. And I did some math. So the average cost per sale for agencies when they advertise on Facebook is between $150 to $200. So that's if CPMs are right, everything is right, CPC is good, landing page converts right. You have around 30 to 45% close rate. Those are going to be the prices. So I went the extra mile and said, let's say I get $50 per call. Let's say I have a 60% show up rate, and let's say that my close rate is 10%. I would probably cost me $750 to $1,000 to close a 5K deal. Sounds to me like a good deal. I'm just gonna spend $800 on ads. I'm gonna get a sale. It's $5,000. I'm gonna have 4,200 left, and now I have money to get 6 more clients. And I'm just gonna keep on doing that until I reach 42,000. And why 42,000? Because I did some extra math and I found that I'm not gonna close all of them. But for those that I'm not gonna be able to close, the 1,500 is not gonna sound even like a no-brainer, because I have an offer inside where if you try it for, let's say, 2 weeks and you change your mind, we can add an extra $500, but you can only do that in the first 2 weeks. We can add an extra $500 that would be credited towards the 5K. And then it's gonna be 2,000 again, and then 1,000 by the end of the month. Or I'm still not sure. It's gonna be 2K, then another 3K, and the 3K you're basically gonna pay it from what we make you. So something like that. Of course, there are COGS and other stuff to take into account. So the 7K that we're making them in the lifetime value, that takes time, and the 7K, they have around 37%. 37% profit. So still, yeah. I'm getting too technical here. I don't know if you guys enjoy this type of content. Let me know. So that's how I came up with the offer. That's my plan to make 42K in July. And the next plan, and the reason why I can only do 42K is because of my ability to deliver. So I won't be able to deliver to 20 people at once, because that shit takes time. But if I can find a way to get 42K, I'm gonna have enough capital to, or not if I found a way, but if my way works, I'm gonna have enough money to hire someone to do that for me. And then I'm gonna go to 20 units per month, which is going to be 100,000. And then let's say I get an extra 10 or an extra 15 that go for the 1,500, and that's an extra 15,000 to 20,000. So I might be shooting or looking at 150,000 per month by August or September, but I don't know. I've heard it's good advice to take your goal, or take the time frame that you want to achieve the goal by, and just multiply it by 2 or 3. So let's say we're gonna hit that by November or December. So that's the plan, and fuck off.